Hi guys, welcome to this short introduction to the Google Chrome extension Analytics Modifier by Colento Solutions. I'm going to show you what this extension does and how it works. So basically this is an extension that can intercept signals going to Google Analytics. So if you're visiting a website, you know that requests are going to Google Analytics via a collect endpoint. This request is later on sent to the Google Analytics servers, but as you can see, what this extension will do is that it will intercept this request and prevent that from being sent. And I will show you what it looks like in a short bit. So what the extension does instead is that it's using the request to this collect endpoint, and then it's manipulating data. And you can see here that we are manipulating the parameter DH, which is now equal to internal, and this is the host name. Then we are sending a new request to the collect endpoint and then to Google Analytics. So this is a great way for us to intercept data, manipulate it, and then resend it. So what does this look like for real? If we head over to extensions, we can see that I've activated the Analytics modifier. Might look a little bit different for you because I'm in developer mode, because it's not present at the Chrome Web Store yet. But once you have it installed, you can check out the background.html page just to see what happens in the background. So I'm going to click here, and we can see that we got a DevTool window, and we see that we got the information about the extension being installed. If we look at elements, we can see the actual page, what it looks like. And here you can see that we are reading in script, in JavaScript, and we are using some information which we are going to use in the extension. You don't have to know about all these things. I just want to be very transparent with you what happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to network in order to see what gets sent. And you can see that I filtered already on collect, and so far nothing has happened. So let's head over to a web page to see what happens once the extension is activated. So I'm going to head over to somethinguseless.com, which is my SEO challenge. And if you haven't tried it, then feel free to check it out. It's on somethinguseless.com. And as you can see in the top right corner, we have our extension. It's this Q, which actually is the Colento logo. So if you click on that, you see that you get a pop-up which tells you to enter a regex pattern to match host names. So here you can pick which domains this should run for, and by default, if this is empty, it will run on 0 websites. And this is just as a precaution. We don't want to send manipulated data for every single Google Analytics account on the internet. It's enough to do it for the ones that we are interested in. So in this case, I would type somethinguseless.com, and if you know regex, you know you have to use a backslash before the dot, but if we wanted, we could also write something useless just like that. Since it's regex, it will match because something useless is a part of somethinguseless.com. We could also use pipes to say that we want to match somethinguseless.com or colento.com, for example. So this means that we can type in how many websites we want to. In this case, I'm only going to use somethinguseless.com. I'm going to click on save, and we can see that the settings are now saved. To turn it on, we have to click on activate. So I'm going to click there now. And now you can see that we have this small green circle in the extension icon that tells us that this extension is now active. And I'm also going to put up my network in DevTools in here just to see what happens. Before I do that, I will actually turn this off just to show you what happens by default. So if I run this page, you can see that there goes a signal to collect at googleanalytics.com and a secondary collect. And if I now activate this plugin and I choose somethinguseless.com as the domain, and then refresh the page, you can now see that we are getting blocked. It's turning red. If I look at in console, we can see that, yeah, the there's an error blocked by client. So these requests are not sent. And to be very transparent with you, I've also decided to print the message here in the console that we are actually sending requests via the extension instead. And you can also see what data is manipulated. And remember, I opened this background page earlier. So if I open the background page again, you can see that here are the actual requests. And if I look at, for example, the last one, we can see if we scroll down that we have this DH internal as a part of the request. So this is a great way of intercepting the data. And if we look in Google Analytics, we have this internal view for this website. And as you can see, it just registered that I was on this page as an internal user. It will probably also show up here where I'm an external user. But let's refresh this page now that the extension is active and head over to Analytics right away. And in the internal view, here you can see that we registered the page view. And in the external view, nothing was registered. And just to show you how this is set up, I will head over to Admin, Filters. And here you can see that I'm excluding hostname equal internal. So only by having this extension on active for a single web page or multiple web pages, we can make sure that we are not registered in our Google Analytics account. So we don't have to worry about different IP addresses or referrals or stuff like that. As long as we use this plugin, we will always be excluded. So I hope you enjoy this extension, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.